Frank Luntz is in D.C. tonight, and this time, well, he's mixing it up a bit. He's narrowed his focus group down to just women, and they'll be joined by another special group, GOP congresswomen. Frank.
You've heard from the men. Now it's time to do something that's never been done on national television. A dozen elected members of Congress who have one more thing in common: Republican women. But before I go to you, and before I go to our panel of American women, I want you to hear something from the chairperson of the Democratic National Committee, some language that I think is completely inappropriate, and then when we get your reactions.
They have found plenty of time to bring forward an extreme anti-woman agenda. They are also anti-woman, anti-child, and anti-taxpayer. But the extreme anti-woman agenda doesn't stop with attempting to redefine rape. Can we please stop the relentless attack on women?
Incredible. And it was said on the floor of the House of Representatives. Marie Buerkle, what's your reaction?
Well, it's astonishing, first and foremost. And you know, when I think about that comment, especially on the floor of the House of Representatives, I think about the women that I serve with, who are mothers and grandmothers and sisters and daughters who've been fighting the good fight for many years, many in high levels within the Republican Party, and working very hard on issues that reflect the whole cross-section of American values. And I'm very proud to be a part of this group of women. And so that comment is pure political posturing, and it's unfortunate.
Anti-woman? Is that what you guys are?
This is not about gender for us. It's about policy. And we know where we are on policies because we are for small business, free enterprise. We're for preserving freedom.
But they say that you're anti-woman. They say your policy is anti-woman.
It's outrageous. I really took it as Debbie Wasserman Schultz being frightened that the Republicans won the women's vote in 2010. We had a record number of women elected to the House of Representatives, a dynamic group of women that represent a broad base from America. We have a doctor, we have nurses, we have small business owners, we have a farmer.
How many of you are moms? Every one of you.
We represent the women of the country. I mean, we're moms, we're wives, we're grandmothers. We live the daily life. I mean, we're the ones, most of us, who do the budget in the family. We're the ones that are doing what you have to do to take care of a family. So to say that we are anti-women is really kind of out there.
This is really the beginning of a movement where the Republican Party is opening its doors and making women feel like they're welcome. And the Democratic Party has always been that party, and now the Republican women are saying, no, the place for you, getting this country back on track, doing what's right for your family, and it's in the Republican Party.
Another thing that's so outrageous about it is that it was basically Republican women who fought for the right for women to vote. The first woman elected to Congress was a Republican. The first 5 women elected to Congress were all Republican women. So we've been out there for a long time spearheading the drive for women to be involved and for women to be a part of the policy process at the highest level.
You know, one of the things that I think is really neat, and I don't know if all of you have found that, but I am finding that after being in Congress for the many years that I have, that all of these young women all over my district, even middle-aged women, are seeking office. They're running for city council, they're running for mayor, they're running for school board, things that they never thought possible. And I think that's one of the great things that we've been able to do is empower them.
Women are starting businesses twice the rate of men. And so the small business owners are women. Many of us have done that. And so as we talk about issues like that, I think what she was trying to say is we can only talk about health care, education, or whatever. We're everywhere.
One more.
Well, for me, it was an extremely disappointing comment because it was uttered by a fellow woman member of the House. And we interact every day with all of the other women of the House on both sides of the aisle. And to me, I took it, you try not to take things personally because it's politics. But I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I want for my daughter the same things that she wants for her daughter.
Tell me honestly, how many of you were offended by what she said? What's your reaction? Do they have a right to be offended, or is this just politics as usual?
Absolutely. You have a right to be offended.
Go ahead.
It was very insulting and untrue.
What's your reaction?
I mean, I can definitely understand why they feel offended and that, they're all working cohesively to try to make sure that we are empowering women. So
now there's some people have said that men are much more divisive, much more aggressive in their approach, and that the approach taken by women can be more unifying, and has the ability to bring people together. Is that real? Is that fake?
No.
How do you react to them and what they've said?
It is real, and I was really shocked to hear that the lady made that remark. It was just so out of context, I think. It just didn't ring true.
One more.
I think it's a stereotype. I think women can be just as mean and vindictive and divisive as men. And
was she mean and vindictive?
No, I didn't think so. But I can understand. No, I can understand why somebody would be offended, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm offended. So I wouldn't say that men are worse or women are worse. It's not just politics, but it's more of getting at the heart of
the Democratic National Committee. Is that appropriate language for the leader of the Democrats? Yes or no?
No.
So on that, they agree. I want to talk a little bit about policy, because we've got this big division between the White House and Congress. We've got this big division between the House and the Senate, between Republicans and Democrats. Can you repair the breach?
Absolutely. This is what we represent is problem solving. We represent empowerment for every American citizen. We represent the fight for jobs. And we have to deal with our debt responsibly.
And what is responsibly? What's responsibly when dealing with the debt?
Just as we would do in our homes or just as we would do in our profession, we need to really find that middle ground.
But
find a way to. Yes, we can.
Then why is
We've
all the yelling
done it
and
in our
screaming?
purse because of that type of rhetoric that we just heard on that recording.
I want to challenge you. I don't think you can do it.
I think we can. I recognize it's a tough assignment that we have right now, but what we as Republicans really want is a game changer. We don't believe that we can continue down the current course, and that is the one message that I'm not sure that the president understands is that it's not just about $2.4 trillion. It's about changing the way the federal government spends money.
Are you guys going to find the solution? Are you going to compromise with the president?
It's my opinion that while all eyes have been on the president and the Republican leaders in the House, John Boehner and Eric Cantor, that the people that are going to solve this problem are actually Mitch McConnell and Harry Reid. I think we're watching the wrong people.
Interesting. I want to go to you for a concluding remark. I think we'd agree that we are more divided than we've been in a long time. And I think we'd agree that we've been more negative. What is the solution so that people who watch programs like this don't have to be angry and frustrated every time they turn on their TV?
Well, I think that's a great question. First of all, our voices are united in the fact that we believe there has to be, as Kathy said, a game changer. The American people are clamoring to change the direction of the country with the spending. We're standing firm on that. And every time you stand firm, it becomes, bipartisan bickering and anger, when in fact we're just holding the ground on this. What really is missing is true leadership out of this White House. I can tell you, I don't know how many members of Congress, of these people have heard from the President or for the White House on this whole debate, but I know that I haven't. So it's leadership-driven only. The President's not reaching out to anybody else, and I think it's just a failure of leadership on his part.
I know it's going to be tough. I'm hoping that we can find a way that we can talk to each other in a civil way, as we just did. And I do hope that the language that you use is going to be more embracive and less divisive.